Aloha, Charlie. Oh
Hey,
no, he's
brother.
frozen.
Hey,
You're
brother.
fro. You're frozen, bro. No, no, no. Uh-oh. I'm showing you at 10 out of 10 network connection, bro. But you're frozen. Well, actually, you're not frozen on the feed. You're frozen only on my screen. I don't know why. Can you hear me, Charles?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Well, I'm watching you on Facebook Live, and you're there. So I don't know why you're frozen on my uh, on my
Okay.
screen.
Okay, let me go back out. I'll come right back in, okay?
All right. That's the beauty of Facebook Live. That's the keyword live with Mel and Charlie because we cannot control the. There he is.
Hey, brother. How are you doing now?
Now you good, buddy. Now you good. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm not sure what the heck. Oh, look at all the happy birthdays. Hey, everyone, thank you so much. I will be, there was a time where I used to respond to every single birthday wish on Facebook. And unfortunately, or fortunately, oh, look at Tyson. Mel, I thought you said you were going to do tonight's show in your birthday suit. So disappointing. Well, actually, I can. Hang on. Hang on. What do you mean? Okay. All right. I won't. All right. All right. We get Russell in the waiting room. Russell can hear us, but we cannot hear him. We'll be bringing you in real quick, Russell. Thank you for joining us tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday here in Kauai and in Hawaii and in the world, and we got viewers from all over the country, and in fact, sometimes even in other countries. So again, thank you all for the birthday wishes, everyone. Thank you. I will be posting a mahalo post right after the show. But my gosh, I was going through all the messages. I got kind of emotional. It was the amount of love and well wishes was overwhelming. So thank you all. Thank you all. Well, it's got to be one of my best birthdays. Um,
Yes.
my wife got me some sushi tonight. We had sushi from what's that place? Wailua Sushi. They deliver.
Mm.
And yep, they're on Instagram. If you follow them, they get all kinds of specials. And then so she had this sushi with a salad that was amazing salad with Cajun seared ahi. Oh, broke the mouth. So
Mm.
was awesome. It was a great birthday, and thank you. These things are still coming in. Thank you guys all. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys coming in and joining us every single night.
Yes.
And I appreciate you, Charlie. Charlie actually wished me happy birthday last night as well. Many of you did, but he did wish me a happy birthday in the morning
Yep.
as well. So thank you, Charlie. It was a fantastic birthday. As I was
Good.
telling Charlie,
Good.
I got a new hobby. It's collecting these silly trading cards. Football, baseball, Pokemon, and been going through that almost all day. Just going through the old cards that we had stored and find some pretty cool surprises in there. But anyway,
Yeah.
had
Good.
a great
Good.
day. Had a great day. And tonight I'm excited tonight, Charlie. I'm excited for a couple of reasons. It's uh, well, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, but we got Russell Izumo. Russell, as many of you know, was our first COVID patient, COVID case, and he's going to be on in a little bit to tell us his story. And he's working with the Kauai Lifeguard Association, who um, has just come in the waiting room as well. We can hear you. We cannot hear you, but you can hear us. So before we start and before we bring them in, please share this tonight. And especially share it with the people that think COVID is just like the flu. Okay? Do me a favor, do Charlie a favor, do the community a favor. Every one of us, we know people that think this is just like the flu. So do me a favor. In the next minute or two, share this on your page, direct message those people, and tell them watch tonight. We see a local boy from Kauai will tell us the story of COVID and what it has done. And we see the numbers, but some people still fail to believe. And we have Chantal Zarba from Kauai Lifeguard Association is going to be on tonight. Uh, KLA, Kauai Lifeguard Association. We all know them. They've been extraordinary with our lifeguards and our ocean rescue bureaus here in the Kauai County. And I'll let her tell the story because they've contributed so much resources to our county, saving you and me and all of the taxpayers a ton of money. So she's on, and they've joined forces with Russell, and they're going to talk about their relationship tonight. So,
Yes.
Charlie, how was your day, bro? How was your day?
Well, my day was, it started off great. I mean, couldn't ask for a better day. Folks, I did a video this morning kind of showing you that even though we got our mask, again, we're talking about COVID, even though you got your mask, you still should be taking precautions, not only because you have it on, but when you take it off. Okay, especially if you're in an area that's you avoided, getting in contact with anybody and you kept your distance. But still yet, as a precautionary measure, you shouldn't be using your bare hands to take off your mask. Because if there's something on the mask itself, it can transfer to your hands unless you're right there at home and you go into the washroom, you take it off and you start scrubbing right away. But nevertheless, I gave a little tip on how to remove your gloves and so forth. So, it's just something that I also do when I teach the CPR classes. Because like with bloodborne pathogens, you want to make sure that if you're going to help someone, you don't want to become a victim yourself. And a lot of times it's when that slight mistake and you contract something, especially when you're dealing with surfaces when someone had a broken skin, the skin is broken, there's extensive bleeding going on, it gets on your hands, you need to know how to take off your gloves. So I kind of translated that into removing your mask. And also, we talked about our prison system, and I showed that if you, NextCare has this rubberized flesh tone medical tape that you can actually put the tape across your mask and you seal it shut so nothing can get in this way. I don't think, even though if it's aerosolized, the droplets, that it's going to go up this way, up into your face. I think everything is going to come straight ahead and right down on you. So if you could get your mask and just seal it off for the period of time that you're in a populated area, even though you're distancing, the fear is exposure. And I just want to make sure none of you get exposed. Because I hope and pray this time next year, we'll be talking about some lighter things and happy things, and COVID will be a thing of the past.
Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
My Alexa is getting silly.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alexa.
Well, then,
Take a look
Alexa,
at the help section in your Alexa app.
Alexa, adios. Can
And
you hear me
sir,
now?
yes. And Alexa will come back and say, I do not understand that language.
Oh,
Are you
God.
saying do you
Well,
want
she cannot,
tacos?
she
Do you
cannot
want
connect
tacos?
to the internet. What the heck? Anyway, we're going to bring in Chantal and Russell. We've never done this with four people, so cross your fingers. There's Chantal, boom. And there is Russell, boom. Oh my God. No, I cannot put that up because we're going to block off. Anyway, can you guys hear us?
We can. I can hear you.
Can hear
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, again, this is the first time we have 4-on-1 stream, so we're going to hope that this thing works. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. Very important discussion that we're going to have tonight. But you guys don't know Uncle Charlie up there, the Hawaiian?
Oh, yes. Hi, Uncle Charlie.
Yeah.
So nice to see you.
How are you,
By the way,
sweetie?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
hi, Uncle Charlie. And
How
by the
you
way,
doing,
Mel, happy
Russell?
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, Charlie's still older than me, and he thinks I'm gonna catch him up, but I'm not. But anyway, we got a ton of people on tonight to hear your guys' message. So let me just turn it over to you, Chantal, and if you can talk a little bit about KLA and how did this team come together? You, KLA, and Russell.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Mel and Uncle Charlie show. This is an awesome honor. So KLA, as you know, we have raised over $1 million to give to the county for our lifeguards and to help them with much needed equipment. However, due to COVID-19, we had to pivot from our fundraising, one big, huge event, to what are we going to do for the community? Are we going to just stop everything and not do anything? Are we going to pivot and change to something of a safety message, because saving lives is our mission? So we had to figure out a media campaign, and so Andy Melamed and myself, we decided to come up with this full media campaign using traditional media routes to talk about Kauai. And we always hear about Honolulu and the other islands, but nobody was really talking about Kauai or giving safety messages, basically. So we've been doing that since the beginning of COVID. And then I was just putting it out there, like, I would love to have somebody from Kauai to actually talk about their experience as COVID. And I wanted to find somebody with a testimonial that we could give and share to our community, and to make sure that they put a face to this pandemic. And Russell came about at a time where we were looking at changing up our messages. And so thank you, Russell, for being here, and thank you, Russell, for sharing your story. It's not easy. We got to talk a little bit prior to this, and a lot of what he's going to share tonight, I think, will resonate and should resonate with our viewers. And I think it's something that is important for us to share. So on behalf of KLA, I'm very honored to be here to share this message, because we've gone from TGI, the Garden Island, to radio, all the radio stations, and just sharing our messages, and having the mayor come on, Mayor Kawakami, as well as Chief Raybuck, and Janet Berriman from CDC, and just pulling together with the county and sharing the message on the same platform as all the other islands. And hopefully we have been able to reach more people with this show and with Russell going on. And I just think it's courageous of him to share this on this platform. And thank you so much, Russell, for being here. And I can talk a little bit more after, but I'd like to give Russell a chance to introduce himself and share his important story.
All right. Well, thanks again, Chantal, for being with us tonight, and thanks for what you do with Kelly. I did want to just expand a little bit that, Kauai Lifeguard Association, they do a huge fundraiser, a big event, raises a ton of money. And I got to say, I saw it firsthand on the council, trucks and jet skis and everything you can think of. Again, over $1 million worth of donations to the county of Kauai to protect our beaches and our lifeguards. So thanks again, Chantal, for that.
Yes, thank you.
And I was so happy when I found out that Russell was working with you folks. And we had one survivor, COVID survivor, on our show a couple of weeks ago. But I'm so we're blessed to have you, Russell, here from Kauai. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, your background, and then share with us that story of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
My background: I work for the state DOT. I'm a mechanic. It all started when we went to the Con Expo in Las Vegas. We left the day before they shut down the town, and we're trying to put together, maybe I caught it on the way back would make the most sense, because the rest of the party that was with me all tested negative. The timeline is we returned on the 16th of March, and 2 days later I started to have symptoms like chills. And then it progressed to body ache a couple of days later. And then it cleared up for one day. I felt a little bit good, better. And then got chills again. So I went to urgent care and got tested. And 4 days later, they called me back and I was positive. And then after that, I was told to quarantine. We were to separate in the house between me and my wife. So I quarantined in one room, and I started to get onset of fever. And that was like maybe a week later. So yeah, 2 days later I had fever. And on the third day I started to continue on with the fever, and I started to get breathing difficulties. And on the 30th, 29th and 30th of March, it started to get bad. So on the 31st, I went to Wilcox ER, and all I remember was 2 hours in there. And after that, waking up April 14 in Queens. And I stayed in Queens all the way to April 27. After I tested negative for COVID, I told my doctor I want out of here. So they discharged me out of the hospital, and then started the long road. When I woke up, when I got up out of intensive care, and I couldn't walk, my legs, my muscles deteriorated. I lost about 50 pounds maybe. And then basically I was just weak. I couldn't hold up my phone. I couldn't walk. I had to be assisted to go to the bathroom, to take a shower, to do everything. And well, how many months is this? 3 months later, 4 months later down the road? April, May, yeah, 4 months, 4.5 months down the road. I still have some muscle issues in my legs and permanent lung damage. I don't know to what extent, but I still get winded when I start exerting myself.
Wow.
Russell, like, man, that's horrible, man. Let me go back. So you were in Vegas with a bunch of guys, and obviously in close contact, and none of them tested positive.
No, none of them.
So, like you said earlier, you assumed that you may have gotten it on the way back, maybe in the plane or at the airport, or when you were not, after you were already separated from your group.
Yeah.
And you get home, and now you obviously don't know. You probably already had the virus. You're at home with your wife, and you're doing your normal things, right? You're going out. You're not.
I went to work.
You went to work?
Yeah, I went to work that Wednesday, and that night I started to get the chills.
What did you think when you got the chills? What did you think? Possibly COVID, or maybe just the flu?
No, I just was thinking like that was a thought in my head that maybe, but it wasn't that bad. It just came over, and I went to bed, and I woke up, and I felt good the next day, and I went to work. I mean, I felt totally good, like nothing had happened. And then I went to work, and then Friday I got up with body ache, so I didn't go to work.
So Wednesday Wednesday chills. Thursday you feel perfectly fine. Friday you start the body ache.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Saturday perfectly fine again. Then Sunday I get chills again. And I went and tested, and I stayed home from work already just to thinking that I don't want to go to work and spread this thing if I got it. Maybe I just was praying. I hope the test was negative. But when Dr. Tamanaha called me and he said, "Brother, you positive?" And it's like, okay, well, gotta accept it. I got it, so it is what it is. You can't do nothing about it now, right? You just gotta ride it out. I didn't realize it was going to get that bad. I don't even remember having shortness of breath, put it that way.
And your wife tested, she came out negative as well?
A DOH didn't want to test her because she never showed any signs. That was the word to her. We're not going to test you because you don't show any symptoms. So she never got tested. When I went into the hospital, I just told her, like, you know what? Go get tested because I'm bad right now.
So when your wife got tested in the hospital, Russell?
No, she never get tested yet till today.
Till today.
Yeah.
We've been hearing these kind of stories because when we had Dr. Miskovich on,
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the first times we started to hear about that 40 percentile of asymptomatics being the possible super spreaders.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that worries us. Do you think that she'll want to go and take an antibody test just to see if, in fact, she may have had it?
She has to go do yeah, I told her to go take an antibody test, and she has to go do a procedure next week or a couple weeks from now.
Okay.
And they gotta test her prior to the procedure. So she's gonna
Oh, she's going to get a PCR test then, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, the full test. Okay, good.
yeah.
Good.
Wow, that is amazing. So, I mean, I'm definitely not a doctor, but based on what we've heard over the months, she probably did get it, just was asymptomatic. And I mean, it's kind of hard not to get it in the same house. Wow. Okay, so again, I hate to, 'cause we never really spoke about how this thing was going to go tonight. That's kind of how we like to do our show. So I apologize if I don't want to take you places you don't want to go, but so you start getting some breathing issues and you go to ER,
Yeah.
and by then you already know you're positive, right?
Yeah. So when I went to ER, I went there about 1 o'clock in the morning, April 1st. Walk in there, and yeah, the tent set up in the front, but they told me to go around to the ambulance entrance because they had a COVID room set up over there, the first door on the left, and that's where I ended up in. And I just told them I'm coming in. I'm COVID positive, and I'm showing symptoms right now. And
And
I don't even remember after that. I mean, I just remember them coming in the room because you got to dress up like you're going to space out with all that protective gear.
yeah.
Yeah, and then he came in the room, this and this and this, and next thing I probably they sedated me already, but I mean, with a couple hours, and by the time I guess daytime, what I'm told by my PCP and whatnot is like they already had me on the vent the next day, but by morning time I was on the vent. Then I guess I was too critical, so they flew me on the air ambulance to Polimomi. I was in Polimomi 2 days. I guess I was too critical for Polimomi, so they shipped me to Queens, and that's where I woke up.
So a lot of this, what you're telling us, is what you've been told by your doctor,
Yeah,
because you don't remember any of this.
no, I
You,
don't.
re-
I don't.
but you
I don't remember
was
anything about being knocked out. I mean, I had like your other guest the other night, that other lady in Honolulu. She said she had dreams. Yeah, I had crazy kind of dreams, nightmares, and that's the nutsest part about it. Is I hear that I've been told by people that COVID COVID patients in a coma experience crazy nightmares and stuff. And I don't know if it's from all the medication you're getting. I mean, they gave me a lot of medication. I seen the medication list. That was kind of crazy.
well. You were in bad shape, Russell. You were in bad shape. So they put the vent here on Kauai before they got you on the plane.
Yeah, Dr. Jackson did it.
Wow.
Ted Jackson. So let me ask you something, Russell. Before we go on,
Yeah.
I know, you're telling us your side, but you're going to get winded. I know it's going to happen. So if you feel at any time you want to take a break, let us know, okay?
No,
So
I'm good. I'm good. I can talk. I mean, it's not as bad as it used to be, but I still get winded since my body's sitting still.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm not like that guy.
okay.
You seen that guy on TV the other night, that bartender?
Kobe. Yeah,
Oh.
Kobe. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's bad, bro. The guy's still bad.
Hmm.
He's
Okay.
having a bad time. Yeah. Because they
Well,
never had me on oxygen when I left.
you know what's bringing back memories, but I am so grateful that you're one of those that fought it through, because when you're telling me about dates, April 1st, my brother went into the hospital on March 30th.
Yeah.
He finally went into the hospital March 30th. By March 31st, my brother was already in a coma. And then by April 5th, he already passed away from COVID. That's how fast it went.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm really, I am blessed just sitting here talking to you, and because as a family we try to understand the story what happened, but unfortunately we weren't there. But I guess through you're telling us your version, and we can only assimilate in our heads. Maybe that's what he went through too. But I'm so glad you made it. I'm so glad you made it.
Yeah, like what my wife was telling me is probably like 3 or 4 days into Queens. I got to Queens on the 4th. Probably within 3 to 4 days at Queens, I was really, really bad, really bad. Um, she just told me he was really bad, but it's to the point where I guess it turned around from there. I don't know what they gave me. I don't know. I don't know what kind of. I know they gave me hydroxychloroquine. I seen that on the medicine list and some other steroid kind of thing. But like, what's that drug they would start with the R?
Respective something.
Yeah. I
I'll
didn't
say
see that.
it. Yeah, Hawaiians call that reservoir, but it starts with an R.
Yeah, we can call them reversa. Eh?
Yeah, reverse.
Yeah. Remdesivir.
Yeah,
No,
something.
Yeah.
don't try it.
We're not doctors, so we don't can pronounce that. Eh?
Yeah. They do that on purpose.
Yeah.
It's just so they can charge you all that expensive money just because because we cannot pronounce the medicine. That's kind of what it is. But.
Yeah.
Hey,
So you
Russell.
basically, I'm sorry, Chantal.
No. People are asking, how old are you, Russell, if you don't mind sharing?
Remdesivir. Yeah, I see that on the.
Remdesivir. Yeah, there we go. How old are you, Russell? They're asking how old are you?
I'm 56, almost 57 next month.
Whew. Young.
Very young, very young.
Yep.
So Russell, you are basically in a coma.
Yeah.
You don't remember anything. Lauria Marza is saying she talked to you when you were at Wilcox, but you don't remember anything. So you wake up at Queens. How long after?
I wake up at Queens on the 14th of April.
Jeez. And you're still on the vent.
No, they take me. I'm off the vent. You know what the
So
craziest thing about waking up is? It turned spiritual because I was dreaming I was walking down one bright lit hallway, like fluorescent lights on, and it had only one door on the left. That's all I can remember is I walk up to that door and I see myself on a bed with the vent hooked up to the vent. And then next thing I know, I'm waking up. That's the crazy part.
Whew, brother, this is rough, man. But people got to hear this, man. People got to hear this because, and we'll get to that part later. I just kind of want to get through your. So how long you're in Queens after you wake up?
I was in Queens all the way from. I woke up on the 14th and I got discharged on the 27th.
I know a lot of the people on Kauai were very concerned. You were touch and go. I'm sure your doctor told you that a lot of people didn't think you were going to make it, or that we were told that you might not make it, that you were in bad shape, you were in a coma, you were on the vent.
Some people actually thought I died. Yeah.
No, I had not heard that one, but I don't doubt that because it was that serious, and there was a lot of talk about that, and a lot of concern because there were so many people. I'm glad I heard it from you because it makes a lot more sense that you contracted it on the tail end of your trip, possibly on the way back, and that really explains why no one else got infected. But this virus is so contagious. It's so easy to pick up.
Yeah.
So you get out of Queens. How do you feel when you get out of Queens physically?
Weak.
How's your breathing? How's your
weak? And my even when I start talking like that, if I get a little excited, I start running out of air. My saturation gets down below 90.
Oh boy, that's not good.
I bought a oximeter for the finger, so I would just do my own rehab because I honestly, when the doctors wanted me to stay in Queens 2 more weeks and to do PT, I told them, you know what, I don't like doing inpatient PT. I like go home and let me go outpatient PT. I told them, let me out of here. So they let me out, and then it was hard to get outpatient PT because if you tell them you was a COVID patient, they kind of like all back up, right? So finally, rehab hospital of the Pacific took me in after a month of waiting, and yeah, I was doing self PT at home. Try to walk 10 feet. Next, keep walking 10 feet, maybe 20 feet, and 30 feet. That's how bad it was. I only could walk so far and I run out of air.
Did you come back home to Kauai or did you stay in Honolulu?
I stayed in Honolulu.
So you were doing your self PT on Oahu.
Yeah.
And aside from the breathing, how was your? I know you said your muscles. You had lost a lot of weight. Your muscles was weak. Was that all still happening? Did you notice it was getting better with your self PT?
Well, it the worst part was trying to walk. So I guess the leg muscles grab a lot of oxygen right when you start walking, and the the lungs couldn't keep up with feeding the blood with oxygen. So that was the battle. I had to work in between that. If you kind of understand what he's saying, it's like you're gonna walk, you're gonna run out of air, then you gotta just rest, sit down, and then over a period of time, I got to walk farther and farther. Maybe I can walk 100 yards, and then 110 yards. Yeah, just keep progressing farther and farther. But I get winded and I gotta stop, and I let the oximeter catch back up. Once my heart starts, my heart rate comes up, then it'll catch up a little quicker.
Russell, some people are asking the pain you experience. Can you describe? They just want to know, like the body aches and everything that led up to when it
Oh,
to the point it got bad. Yeah,
oh, before I got tested.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like all joint pains, just like it felt like the flu. That's why I guess like you can talk about like how people think, like you said earlier, people think it's just the flu. Yeah, the symptoms are similar to the flu, but like COVID is some kind of like a smart virus, right? Like a smartphone, whatever. I look at it that way. It's smart. um, it knows what to do to shut you down. But yeah, the body aches and the chills feel like flu kind stuff coming on.
And what about
Um,
now? What kind of pains are you experiencing now?
I still have little bit leg pains when I start exerting myself a little bit. Some days are good, some days are bad. Um, I have some pain on my scalp, like I don't know if it's nerve.
Mm.
My hands still, my thumb. Before my hands would tremble when I would eat. When I was in a hospital feeding myself, my hands would shake. I couldn't bring food to my mouth. Um, Now my thumb still tremble though sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
And
Kobe had said that, and I don't know if you experienced it, but he said that he experienced ulcers on his body. I
yeah,
guess probably be,
I didn't. That's bed sores. I never.
yeah.
Luckily, I didn't get any of that.
Okay, good.
But I did get a blood clot. They said in my leg. So they were concerned. That was the part they was concerned about. They didn't want the clot to get
Go
up
up to
into
the
my
heart.
lungs and my heart.
Yeah.
So they got me on blood thinners right now for just staying on it for now. That's the part of COVID causes blood clots. It thickens the blood or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
How's you get any follow up treatments now with your doctor? You got to keep going back, or you on any kind of medication besides the blood thinners?
No. Well, since they said I had heart arrhythmia was on my some of my medical report stuff that some just whatever that I have that they let me read. So I came back and I told my doctor, let's do one, check my heart, um, my kidneys, and my lungs. Because when I was recovering, I had some kidney stone issues and bloody urine a little bit. So we just got through checking the kidneys, and they said, well, the doctors here said that it seems to be fine. But when they was doing the CT scan for the kidneys, they scanned part of the lower lung, and that's when they seen the damage, fibrosis or whatever you call it.
Yep.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that we and many of our guests that are the medical experts have come around and come on our show and talk about the lasting effects that, in fact, that's what separates this or sets this apart from the flu. Your arrhythmia, all of those, what you've described, is very common in COVID patients that survive. They end up with these lifelong issues that they got to deal with. And I mean, obviously, the alternative is no good, right? You're a walking testimony right now, and
Well,
nothing happens by accident. God is going to use you
yeah,
to share your story. But the point I'm trying to make is that for those people that continue to tell us that this is like the flu, it's
no,
not like the flu.
they're only fooling themselves. It's not just the flu. It's they don't realize that once you do get a bad case of COVID-19, it does damage to your internal organs that medical science don't even know what happens actually, right?
Yeah.
I'll share with you, and I'm so glad your doctors got you on a blood thinners, because when I received the report and got to speak to the medical doctors in New York,
Yeah.
one of the problems my brother had, because they tried to dialyze him, but because of what you experienced, the thickening of the blood, it kept on jamming up the dialysis machine. And
Yeah.
so they couldn't dialyze his blood. And I think one of the individuals, Alofa, that was over at Queens, the Samoan construction person who survived COVID.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah. He caught it in Vegas too, I think. Huh?
I'm not sure
Yeah, he
where he
caught it
caught
up
it,
there too, I think. Yeah.
but I think he went on the ECMO process when they oxygenated his blood
That's what
outside
they
of
were
his
going to
body.
put me on.
They'll put you on ECMO, life support.
They were going to. They told my wife that if I don't get any better, they're going to do that.
Yeah,
But that guy suffered some heart attacks too, eh?
I believe he did. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 or 3 heart attacks, while he was in there.
Yeah.
Hey Russell, can I ask a question?
No.
Yeah, but
Oh, haha. So
people just got to realize to me that, now I make it a habit. If I'm going out in public, I always going to sanitize my hands with hand sanitizer before I even take off my mask. I just stick to that routine now because, like when we went to Vegas, I was washing my hands and everything, but we wasn't really educated about wearing masks, right? Covering up.
Okay.
Then
Chantal?
Hey, yeah.
yeah,
And also, what?
that's what it was when we went up there. We had hand sanitizers and we would wash our hands, but then they never really stressed about wearing masks. Huh?
Hey Russell, can you catch COVID again? Somebody was just texting me to ask you that. Can you hear me?
Russell, can you hear Chantal?
No, I cannot. I cannot hear her audio.
God. I'm not sure. Okay. Anyway, she's asking someone texted her asking her, or to ask you if you can catch COVID again. Did the doctors talk to you about possibly?
I was told I can, and I was told by the infectious disease doctor from Queens that when I left the hospital, he told me, don't get even a common cold because you can die. So I had to worry about that when I came out of the hospital. So I can probably catch COVID again,
Okay, and
as
then,
far as I'm aware of. I know some people in New York, a doctor or something caught COVID twice. The one that committed suicide or something.
Yeah.
mhm. So Mel, can you ask him?
Yeah,
Can you?
because it's to me like you're in the hospital, and for the people listening to this, nobody gonna visit you. You by yourself. You're not gonna see nobody. And if you're gonna end up to the road where you gotta die, you're gonna die. You're gonna die by yourself. Um,
Hey, Russell, Chantal has a question, but apparently you cannot hear her, so I'm going to translate the question. What, Chantal? What's the question?
So what we're doing for Kauai Lifeguard Association is stressing the fact in all of our media marketing promos is the importance of wearing a mask while in public. I just wanted him to share what his thoughts are on the mask, and a lot of people are skeptical, yes or no, but his thoughts on it, and share with the viewers how important it is to share aloha and wear your mask in public.
Okay, Russell.
yeah.
Chantal is. Oh, did you hear her?
No. I can't.
Okay.
It sounds
Yeah,
garbled.
she said that a big part of the marketing, the promotions for KLA in this COVID time, the pandemic time, is the necessity of wearing a mask. That in fact, wearing a mask is showing aloha and respect for everybody else. She wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Oh yeah, wear a mask. I see some guys. I see some of the guys waving signs about protesting against masks. He's like, I just drive by and I look at that, I shake my head. It's like, okay, whatever, go catch the stuff, and then see how serious you think about it later. Um, Kauai, luckily, thanks to Mayor Kawakami, is being strict. Kauai's lucky that it's not a super hot zone like Big Island and Maui, even like Honolulu. But all you need is one guy to come in here, and it can change.
Hey,
But
Russell.
yeah,
When you came back, when you were on the plane,
yeah,
so the group that you were with, you separated from them.
yeah.
When you came back to Kauai, how many days after that now you said you started to get your symptoms?
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
So you were in a time frame of catching it. So were you in close, I mean, probably in the plane you was in close contact, but after coming back to Kauai, were you in close contact with anybody other than your wife?
Only my wife, and then we actually we tried to see if they wanted me to quarantine because of the thing in Las Vegas and whatnot like that. So, but they told me to report to work. So I went to work, and it ended up after I got tested, everybody had to go get tested. Shut down the whole base yard. I was told.
Now, when you tested positive, the Department of Health round the clock was keeping tabs on you, pretty much.
No, they didn't actually keep tabs on me until I went to they didn't actually check up on anything here until I went to the hospital, and then they came and they were checking up on my wife because my wife had to go into the quarantine thing. Red Cross came, Meals on Wheels came, brought her food. Friends came and brought food.
But what about anybody that could have come in contact with you that you could, or your wife could describe to them that they came in contact with you? Do you know if they contacted them?
No, I wasn't in contact with anybody else. I came home Monday. I came in Monday afternoon, and then I didn't go to work on Tuesday. I stayed home on Tuesday because we wasn't sure about if we were going to quarantine or whatever. So I got the call Tuesday to come back to work Wednesday. We don't have to quarantine. So me and another coworker went to work, but we was in contact with each other, and I guess as a precaution, they made all the employees where I work at had to test. So, but nobody actually tested positive, so lucky.
Okay. Good.
Well, you think, Russell, if you had worn a mask on your trip, in the plane? You think you may have not caught the virus?
Yeah, now I think about it. Yeah, if I wore a mask, because one of my good friends from Oahu, um, he even they went to the Con Expo too, and he had a mask on all the time. And I guess I wasn't really educated, aware of how the virus actually spreads, really. So somebody can be coughing and the thing just lingering inside the convention center. And you can walk right through that thing, or even on the plane, coughing. Yeah, I didn't notice anybody really coughing on the plane, but it could have been that. It could have been even like could have been even I touched something in a rent a car bus. When the bus
Mhm.
that takes you shuttles you back to the airport. Could have been any other things because everybody else in the party caught an earlier flight on a different airline, and I was the only one left. That actually, yeah, I left. I was on the returning flight by myself. Everybody else already had left to return home already.
Well, back then, the whole thing with masks weren't. It wasn't like it is today. I don't think anybody was wearing a mask. Yeah, how many people in the Con Expo was wearing masks? Probably not too many, right?
Yeah, you probably would count them. You can count them.
Yeah, because I don't
Yeah,
think it was at that point. Remember in the beginning,
yeah,
and in fact, the doctor told your wife, if you don't have symptoms, we're not going to test you because in the beginning they told us that you could only really catch this from someone if they had symptoms.
yeah.
So,
That's what it
I
was.
think we've learned a lot since then. But I don't think you were ever contacted by contact tracers, right? Because you
No,
were in a coma. You were in
yeah,
a coma shortly after you got sick.
yeah.
Do
Chantel.
you?
Oh, go ahead, Mel. Go ahead. Finish.
No, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
Chantel, I wanted
Hi.
to ask you with the organization that you're affiliated with and having Russell. I mean, and I apologize to the viewers. I got a little emotional earlier, but it's part of the territory when you lose a family member. But I wanted to find out from you and your organization uh, how much more help do you folks need in getting the word out? Because what he's talking about is very very powerful. But yet I am almost positive there are knuckleheads out there that don't think they can outrun this thing because I'm pretty sure Russell, you have lung damage, which he said he does.
Hmm.
Kobe's the bartender in Honolulu is even worse. So what is your organization doing to really get the word out and just say, hey, come on guys, this is the real deal because here's a man 56 years old and he got to take a break every so often to get his wind back. Uh, I mean that's and probably you know I don't want to speculate, but we hear stories that it may be for the rest of your life. I don't know, and I would hope that these people like Russell who suffers this virus because it's respiratory to begin with, that they can turn the corner and kind of get a better handle on it down the road. So I just
Hmm.
want to find out from you and your organization, how hard are you folks pushing at this?
We are pushing. We are pushing extremely hard. We had to go back to KLA board re- to put money into this media campaign that we have been doing since April, well, since March. And the board approved it because what we had to do was use the money that we had in our bank account basically and restructure that instead of buying equipment and giving that to our lifeguards for them. We had to change it and we decided to come up with a COVID messaging campaign. So basically, we've been using the money that we've had in our account, which isn't a very much, but we thought it was important that we get some kind of messaging out there to the community, something to keep our Kauai people safe in whatever way we could. And so that's why we use traditional radio, Garden Island newspaper, social media. Right now, we're undertaking a huge revamp on our website so that we can push vital information in shows like this so that it's more relevant. It's very outdated, Kauai Lifeguard Association's website. Since I joined about 3 years ago, it hasn't been updated. But basically, what we did was took our money in our account and put it towards messages like this. Connecting with Russell was a blessing because again, I was trying to find somebody here on Kauai to share their story, and Russell just happened to contact us and wanted to share his story. So that's a great blessing. And so basically, we're just keep on going. I'm plugging away. I haven't asked for any money from anybody, from any of our sponsors, because we don't have a fundraising or entertainment type of venue. But right now, we've been blessed with having some money in our reserves that we've been using to launch all these marketing campaigns for COVID-19.
Well, I don't know about you, Mel, but when Mel suggested that Russell come on, I was worried if there was enough material that he could talk about, because we know it's hard. I mean, our last guest who had COVID, it was pretty hard, but she did a darn good job.
Mhm.
And even our girl from the prison. But listening to Russell's story tonight, I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg for this gentleman right here. I mean, he's the poster child for COVID and how to fight this thing. And people got to take this thing serious.
Mhm.
I mean, he's a walking testimony.
Absolutely.
No,
I'm sorry.
we're gonna, we upload this, we download it and upload it to YouTube, and we're gonna share the heck out of this video because I think, what Charlie said is so true. I think poster child is actually a pretty cool term, and I don't know how we can get his message out to everybody, and we'll definitely, like I said, share the crap out of this. But I did have another question for Russell. Are you back to work?
Not yet. I'm probably going back pretty soon though. We just, my doctor just and me came up this before I actually go back to work. Make sure everything, the tests and all that is adequate enough so I can return to work, because I still gonna have some restrictions, like if I gotta climb a ladder and stuff like that. It's still kind of like, if I go too high, I don't know, I don't know if my legs gonna give out,
Wow.
So, as far as I mean, I'm assuming, and again, if I cross the line, it's not a problem. Just tell me.
No.
I mean, you get sick leave, or I mean, how?
I'm on shared leave right now.
Okay. Well, that's the one for the people in the private sector that may not know. Shared leave is when other employees within the county give up some of their sick leave and time off to employees who don't have enough. So that's cool and that's awesome. It's got to be tough, man. I remember when our last guest was on, and she had to tell her family goodbye before they put her under, and you didn't even have that chance. It sounds like. You and if you did, you just don't remember it. But that's got to be the toughest thing. What you talked about being alone, when you talked about being in that hospital room all by yourself. Some of the doctors that have come on have made that points pretty damn clear. That's got to be the horrible thing. And that's why I don't get it. Why people cannot see this virus, how bad this virus is, and gosh, man, I just proud to know you, my friend. Proud to know you, buddy. I mean, it's
Yeah, my friend from the Big Island just called me up last night. One of my friends on the Big Island, he told me his grandma's staying that that care home, the one where they get a lot of the positive cases right now. And his grandma's positive, and he said his neighbor's father-in-law or something positive up in the Big Island, and his grandma is 92 years old and positive. And he said, "Oh, I hope I hope she can survive this thing.
Well, the chances aren't that good. You know that I'm sure you know the chances of survival once you go on the ventilator is 50%.
Yeah, I was told
You know,
that.
I mean that's just the way it works. And like I said, God was on your side, man. Now
Well,
it's
there's some people saying, so just so you know, Russell did mention that when he was in Vegas, he came back. He came back on a different flight as the rest of the group, right, Russ?
Yeah,
That's what happened, right?
yeah.
So that could be, again, for our viewers out there, it's all about exposure and how much you get exposed to the virus. They're saying right now you need an average of 15 minutes at least clear exposure. That means that you're right in direct contact, and you get that, and you're not wearing a mask. And he said, because truthfully back then there was really nothing much we had to go by. It was kind of like, okay, it's here, but then now we know about the mask, and that's why we're so heavy on this thing about wearing a mask. So basically, right now, Russ, you with the damage to your lungs, it's pretty much like uh, COPD, right?
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
They
No,
even they even tried giving me like asthma inhalers or that, but that thing
doesn't work.
no work. The only thing that actually helps me catch up is I gotta keep going till the heart rate goes up, and then I watch the oximeter, and it catches up a lot faster than.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Oh, Alexa,
Don't
I'm
worry,
working on
Russ.
this too.
That's Alexa.
Yeah.
That's Alexa. That's Alexa talking
No,
to me.
mine just went answer too, my Alexa. You guys come on.
well, that is my old Alexa. There she goes again.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa
I'll
app.
fix that cowboy right now. Hang on. Disconnect that fella.
Put a
There
plug.
you go. How's that, Alexa? Okay, now I'm gonna use my
I
computer.
even heard Alexa say something like, "Mel, I know Russell, Mel."
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, she is gone. She has left the building.
Okay.
It's kind of bizarre. Anyway, so Russell, what do you have to tell our viewers? Again, we get a ton of people. There's a lot of people going to see this. A lot of people that are Alexa, like, come on the show. Reading the comments is crazy. We get some fun people on our show,
Yeah.
but I mean, we have people out there, like I said earlier, that don't think this thing is serious. They think that very few people die from it, and blah blah blah. But this is an opportunity for you to share your words of wisdom. And what would you tell those people? To the people out there that are watching, that are basically saying it's just a flu. I ain't wearing a mask. What is your words to them?
Wear a mask because this thing has no boundaries on age, health, sex, whatever. If this thing got you, and you got the just like to me, it's like if you get the right strain of this thing, it'll take you out. And it's basically how tough you are if your body can rebound and come back out of it. And wear a mask. It doesn't hurt to wear a mask because you're gonna protect. You're protecting everybody, and by keeping all your I guess what you can call it your droplets from your exhale or coming out of your mouth or whatever you call. I don't know exactly the words, but yeah, you by wearing a mask, you're gonna protect everybody else. You're not gonna be spreading this stuff. You're gonna show respect to everybody. Yeah? I mean, I look at Kauai people as compared to when I was in Oahu before I came back to Kauai. A lot of people over there, they know it nothing. I know there's more people in Kauai wearing masks when everybody's I see very few people not wearing it, but I know there's some that um, still probably don't look at this COVID thing seriously. Um, and I don't know what's it gonna take for them to realize this thing, but it is real. Um, Even when I woke up, it was like, oh, I catch some bad luck in Vegas, and I catch some good luck when I came home because I never die. But um, yeah, I don't know if luck can play one thing with that. Is I love Las Vegas, but yeah, everybody mask up, wash your hands, sanitize your hands everywhere you go, anywhere. Pushing a shopping cart, carrying a shopping basket, walking around a store, touching things, looking at things. When you get back to your car, hand sanitize your hands before you even take off your mask. Because you take off your mask before that, you just put, if you got some stuff on your hand, you just put them on your face, right? And, I don't know if maybe I caught it that way too. I'm not sure.
We'll probably never know, Russell. We'll probably never know how you caught them. And everything that you mentioned is things that we all do every day. I mean, even the ones that are careful forget.
Yeah.
Myself, I'll touch the stuff in the store, and guess what? Straight to my mask without disinfecting. I mean, we all gotta be really, really, really careful. So amazing.
Like I went to Oahu at the end of when we went on the end of July at the beginning when these things started to spike to hundreds. It just got into the hundred, the 3 digits. And I flew to Oahu, but I just made it a point to everywhere we go, wash your hands, hand sanitize your hands before you touch your mask. And I still do that over here. I make it a practice. The alcohol,
Hey, Russ,
I guess, yeah.
did you smoke before, or you was a
Yeah,
non-smoker?
I used to smoke. I quit in 2017.
Okay.
And I had some underlying conditions. I had pneumonia previously, quite a while back. I mean, like 20 years ago was the last time I had pneumonia. But I mean, I had it, so my lungs probably had some issues.
Yeah, but I mean, it just, gosh, man, I don't wish this on anybody.
Yeah,
I mean, on anybody.
Yeah.
So, Chantal, what's the plan going forward? Continuing, how long is this campaign going to go to inform and educate the people?
Yes, thank you. So right now, my main concern was getting Russell to be on your show. I would like to continue to do more with him and share his story on more platforms if possible. I know I've been in contact with the Garden Island, and of course, this is all based on respect on Russell. And already, I'm just truly blessed that he's even sharing his story. A lot of what we just heard tonight has not ever been shared or is known to a lot of the Kauai public. So this is amazing. For Charlie, I'm so sad for your loss. But what we are doing as far as KLA is concerned is we're not going to give up, even if I have to go and negotiate, so to say, rates or whatever it is. We're going to still continue on with our campaign because it is vitally important for Kauai community. Like I said, I haven't done any fundraising. We've been just using what we had in our reserves. If anybody is interested, our website is outdated, but it is kawailifeguard.org. So they can, there's a donation drop down there. Other than that, it's pretty much just me and Andy just coming up with these marketing ideas and putting it out there. Every Sunday, we have a TGI ad that just enforces exactly what Russell and you and Uncle Charlie have been saying this whole time. We want to keep it not sounding like be narcs on anybody, but just basically just be mindful. And if there are violators that are putting our community in risk, there's a gentle way to do it. And there is an online complaint center that you can do. But basically all it is working with the mayor, working with his wonderful team that's trying to keep Kauai and its people safe. So it's not something to be bashed or anything like that. We just want to get the information out. And again, that's KauaiLifeguards.org. And we're just going to keep on pushing. We're going to do this throughout the rest of the year or as long as it takes, because I feel this is information that is 100% needed in our community. And we thank you, Mel, Uncle Charlie, for letting us be part of this show. And thank you, Russell, for taking my phone calls and making this happen, because your message and your story is absolutely necessary for people and for us to share the aloha to the public. So thank you.
Well, yeah, I do want to thank Andy Melamed because we always wanted to get someone. I mean, it hasn't been that many on Kauai,
Mm-mm.
but I thought that was so classless to go and call up. Hey, Russell, this is Mel Raposa. We got a Facebook Live show. We like you. Come on, you know. So Andy, when Andy Melamed and I, we talk. Every so often we'll have a chat, and when he suggested it, oh my God, I was saying, hell yeah, if we can get Russell on, we would love to have him on. We bring people on to inform and to educate, but people get tired of hearing the textbook stuff of COVID, the numbers, the statistics, and all of that. I mean, while interesting, it doesn't hit home. Tonight, I'm telling you, Russell, you hit home with a lot of people. You hit home with a lot of people, and a lot of people are they're gonna think about what you said, and they're gonna think about it for a while. And I gotta say thank you, my brother, man. That was some powerful testimony.
Powerful. And thank you, Russell, because we were just waiting for
welcome.
one person.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I've been reading all these messages popping up. Mahalo for all the prayers and the good wishes. And yeah, Mel, thanks you and Uncle Charlie for hosting me on the show, and Chantel for setting all this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I hope everybody listen. I mean, that's their responsibility. It's the only way we can stop.
Well, we're gonna do two things tonight. We're gonna, I believe you said this made you spiritual. I hope I never see that white hallway with one door, because I'm Portuguese. I would have a hard time picking which door, even if I only get one.
Yeah.
But we're gonna ask everybody to pray for you and your family tonight, for healing and for blessing, just for doing what you do. I mean, God can use you now to help other people, and I believe that with all my heart.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing we're going to do is ask, we have a very generous bunch of viewers here, and this was not the reason for the show. I can promise you, this was not the reason for the show. But I saw people posting, hey, you think we could do a fundraiser for them? I'm just going to say this. KLA has done so much for this county over the years that go really unnoticed and unrecognized. And if you guys want to help, KauaiLifeguards.org, go to that page. I'm sure there's contact information. You can reach out to Chantal if you guys want to do a fundraiser. But please, if you guys have the ability, help them out. You see, the more we get this out, the more we get the word out, the more we get to share Russell's story with people, we are going to make a difference on this island and in this state. But we gotta, everybody's gotta pitch in. So if you have the ability, again, KauaiLifeguard.org, let's go ahead and help them out and keep this moving forward. This train cannot stop until COVID is gone, and I believe it's going to be around for a little while. I know brother Charlie's been emotional tonight. He's been through hell and back. We have rode the train with Charlie over the months with his brother, and unfortunately his brother didn't make it past COVID, and we heard it every day. Charlie and I talk every day, and he was good, just like what you said, man. He's getting better, and then he's gotten worse. He's getting better. And then very quickly he was gone. So the emotion is, like he said in his post earlier, happy tears for you that you are able to live and tell about it. And our mission now is to go out and make sure everybody else hears this story. All of you viewers, the thousands of people that are watching this right now, share it. And when you see the link for the YouTube channel, share it again and again, because the more people that get to see Russell and Charlie share their stories, maybe then they'll wear the damn mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlie, I'm not sure if you.
Huh? Well, I just like to say thank you to our guest tonight. Chantel, I've known you for a while. Thank you, sweetheart. Love you. Thank
Oh,
you
love
very
you
much.
too. Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining us. Russell, this is the first time, and I tell you, this is not going to be the last time. I am so encouraged. Again, when I get emotional, it's because I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I really, really, I really am happy for you. And I just wanted to stay that way. No need, people don't need to be dying unnecessarily because of stupidity.
Yeah.
So I know you're going to be the one helping many of us get the message out. And so that's why I appreciate you very much. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
You're making everybody cry.
Even me too. You making me tear.
Well, you know what? Because
Yeah, I was almost there. Like, sometimes I joke around and I talk stupid a little bit, but I was like, I had one foot in a coffin, bro. You like put it that way.
we've been doing this every night now for, I don't know, 6 months or whatever it is. I honestly lost count. And all we talk about is death. We talk about the numbers. We talk about the ugly side. And we've had a few guests that come on and give us hope, inspiration, motivation to do the right thing. And, you and Sarah, um, gosh, I mean, if people cannot see it, then they're stupid. I'm just going to say it. They're just stupid and they're ignorant and they don't have respect and aloha. Plain and simple. I hate to end on a shitty note, but it needs to be said. If your testimony, if Sarah's testimony doesn't get through to the people, then we got some bigger issues than COVID on this island. Bigger issues. So anyway, Chantel, anything else before we head out of here?
No, I just wanna again. I'm sorry, Russell can't hear me, but I wanted to just give my heartwarming mahalos to you, Uncle Charlie and Russell, for being here for KLA on behalf of KLA and sharing our stories and just getting out. This was not about anything other than to share Russell's story. He came forth to us, and Andy and myself was like, no, we need to get his story out because again, people need to hear this. Every day we hear numbers and statistics, but it doesn't resonate until it hits home, and Russell is Kauai. He is representative of our people in our community. And KLA is more than grateful that he was willing to share this with us and share this with the community and beyond, because we are resilient and everybody's lives is changing and we're learning to adapt. And this story, I think, came at a really good time for people to understand the impact of COVID-19 and how it does affect our people. So I just wish everyone safety. I say God bless you, Uncle Charlie and Russell and everyone out there for tuning in. And that's all we can do is just share the aloha and do our part as much as possible.
Thank you, Chantal. Russell,
Yeah.
any closing words before we shove off?
Everybody, wear a mask, keep your distance, and wash your hands.
Yeah.
And practice it like life matters on it,
Good words.
Well, Russell, thank you very much for sharing your life with us. Tell your wife we appreciate her for letting you share your very personal story with us. We appreciate that so much. We love you, man. We love you, brother, and we're going to pray for you. We're going to pray hard for you and your family. And for our viewers, remember, just tonight, before you close your eyes, say a quick prayer. And don't forget KauaiLifeguard.org. And let's let's help this thing. Let's help get through this thing. All right, everybody. We're off tomorrow night. We'll see you guys on Monday night. Take care. We love all of you guys. God bless. Stay safe. Aloha.
Aloha.